Welcome back. I'm now joined by Brittany Lauffer, Kyle Anthony, and Phil Navatsyk. All right, guys, college basketball is getting started. Who is going to win it all this year? Let's start with Kyle.
All right, I'm going to Lawrence, Kansas. I'm picking the Kansas Jayhawks to take it all this season.
All right, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Kansas has a great team this year. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to go with Michigan State, Tom Izzo's squad.
All right, and I'm going to go with the Kentucky Wildcats this year.
All right, the Kentucky Wildcats. So that is actually very near and dear to my heart. John Calipari, graduate of the Moon Area High School. That's right, John Calipari. So Brittany.
That's a fun fact.
Brittany,
I didn't know that.
Isn't that the
Scoring
same?
points.
Isn't that the same like John Calipari who lost to RMU though in Moon though?
And he's also the
Okay.
John Calipari that won the NCAA tournament in 2012.
Ooh,
But-
Brittany, dropping
Ooh,
facts.
okay,
Dropping
okay.
facts.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'll let you
know,
take this one.
Want to know about that team though? That team had a lot of veteran players. Terrence Jones. They had guys like that who had experience the year before, who had started, and so only two of those young guys came in and started on that team.
Yeah, but we also got we did
But
get
this year,
5 to
but,
6
but
amazing
last
freshmen.
year, your whole team was freshmen, wasn't very good. This year, two of those guys are coming back. Both of them were.
You're just helping my argument. You're showing that I
Hey,
have team that are like experienced.
Listen, but both those players last year were bad. This year, they've still been inefficient. Cauley Stein's averaging less points. Oh, yeah, and he fouled out quicker in the last game. Now it's Poitras. He can't hit anything. He's better if he goes blindfolded.
I know, but he's doing well in like rebounds and defensively. He's like in the top 2 for rebounds. That's still saying
Look,
something.
I
If he could
think
at
in
least
the bottom
contribute to
line-
the
So
team.
playing against Little Sisters of the Poor, like
Kyle,
so
you're
far.
kind of like taking
All right,
the
hold on.
argument. Phil, you're
The bottom
kinda
line is
left
that
alone
when it
there.
comes to March, I just don't see how a team that relies almost solely on guys that are freshmen and sophomores can come through and end up winning you a tournament. Now, yes, Kentucky's done it before. They've had studs go there before. They've had recruits come in and win championships. But they also have the veteran leaders. This Kentucky team, they have guys that were here last year, but they're still only sophomores in college. They didn't do a lot last season. I just don't see how this team can carry them from not even making the tournament last year all the way to winning the championship.
In Michigan State, I think you have a really good team, Phil, but the problem with your team is always going to be the problem with every other Tom Izzo team. Sometimes they struggle to score. This year, they're a more balanced team. Currently right now, all their players are in double figures, but you got to worry about them scoring later in the season. I mean, I know your defense will be there. It's just where the points going to come from.
They do struggle offensively once in a while. There's no doubt about that. Every Michigan State team, that seems to be the problem when they get into the tournament. I think at the end of the day this year, they have a much more balanced team than they've had in the past. And I'm not picking them to win the Big Ten tournament even. I think Ohio State beats them. I think when they get into the national championship tournament, they get in a different bracket from Ohio State. The guard play will be a lot easier for them, not being guarded by someone like Aaron Kraft. I think they steamroll through the first part of that, and then at the end, it's just all about who's hot.
But you have
Now,
you have a young team
and I mean,
as well, but you guys are your young team is very offensively minded. What happens to the defense there?
I got the number 1 player in the draft. I got Andrew Wiggins, who's being called the
That's
next
one
LeBron.
player.
Wayne Selman. Oh, yeah, another top 10 pick.
Nobody else is going to call
No.
this out. Phil thinks Ohio State's going to beat Michigan.
Yeah, I heard that.
Michigan
Yeah,
State,
Michigan
first
State,
off.
excuse me. Michigan
heard
State,
that.
And they
excuse
did
me,
it
excuse
last
me.
year.
No,
They did it
you
last
know
year.
what?
They
Phil's
won the
probably
Big
right.
Ten last
Ohio
year.
State probably will beat Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament. But once it comes tournament time, I take the defense of Michigan State over them.
Exactly, and I would too. I think that Ohio State has shown in the past that they
did
show up
Ohio
for the
State
Big
get
Ten
in here?
tournament. They won it last season when they were picked to lose to Michigan State. I think they do the same thing this year, but once it comes tournament time, I trust Tom Izzo more than almost any coach in the NCAA.
What worries me about Michigan State, though, is they play in one of the toughest basketball conferences in the country. The ACC is going to be definitely a lot better this year with the additions they've made. The Big East is going to go down, but the Big 10, which is like the Big 13, because they got all those teams in there, so
you
call
can
it the
just
Big 10,
discard that name
whatever.
at this point.
But they got so much loaded talent there. I still don't know how Michigan State can do it. Big 12, they're
weak.
loaded as they've got some talent there too. They got some sleepers there. Brittany,
Now, here's my thing.
You-
Here's
you
my
put-
thing on that point, is that I see, as long as you stay healthy, if you're playing great teams throughout the season, that only prepares you for the national tournament. And to go to the point of Kansas, they are who I would pick to face Michigan State in the championship game this year. I think it's a toss-up. The one thing that concerns me about them is if a coach like Tom Izzo, who has proven in the past that he's a very defensive-minded coach, he knows how to shut down star players. If he can shut down Andrew Wiggins, I don't see these other guys. Yes, they have a ton of talent. I don't see them being ready to be that number 1 option, though, on the team in a championship game.
and we're going to end it there, guys. Brittany, for picking the coach.
I knew he
that's
was gonna
near
do it.
And dear to my heart.
Has this ever happened
Going.
before?
We'll write this down.
Can we
Oh my
document this?
Lauffer
Can we
Is
document
winning
this?
this one.
Wow.
And all right, that's
Oh
going to
my
do it for
God.
this week, guys. Join
happy
us
for
again
you.
next week for more fun and excitement. Same Pioneer time, same Pioneer channel, same Pioneer sideline.